And Tim has even unmuted me, which is kind of him. I was prepared to do the general evaluation by sign language if necessary. So, a most intriguing meeting. I'm sure we'll get worked into this format more, though personally my hope is that we won't have to keep in it for too long, because the real world already seems rather nostalgic to me. But this was an excellent meeting. These meetings have worked much better than I really expected. I'll make one technical comment at the beginning. I think it's absolutely great, Niharika, being able to change your whole background to different colors. And it does, when you're in the middle of the screen and it goes red, it makes you look really diabolical. So I get a good scare of, yes, it is time to wind up. But the amber, we do use, I think, green, orange, red, simply because of a legacy set of lights in the courtroom. They're meant to be like traffic lights, green, amber, red. So if it was a yellow light for the middle one rather than an orange one, I think it would help us to stay clearer where we are in the talk. But to more serious things, Henry, as always, a warm voice. I did get the slight impression in today's format that you acted almost tortured, as if you were twisting about a bit, trying to get beyond your small screen to convey what you wanted to say. But it was fine. You praised Binod's contagious happiness, relaxed presence, and that is indeed a very good asset to have. Mary, evaluating Alan. By the way, Mary, again, it's a technical thing, but your microphone may not be totally clear or loud enough, or I had found it slightly difficult to hear you. You commented on the camera distance and angle that Alan used, which was a good thing to draw out, because we can all forget, I'm probably doing it now, as we have our self-image, that actually this is a TV presentation, and there's no good giving a wonderful presentation if you're almost out of view of the camera. Not that Alan was anything like that extreme. So, and you praised, you suggested he needed to hide his notes a bit more, but you praised his self-deprecation, and I thought that was wonderful too. That is a tradition of British humour, to be very modest, and Alan makes that work very well. Alex, you praised Russell's speech, and you managed to give, as you always do, a very warm manner, a humorous manner, so that cheers up whoever it is you're evaluating. And you praised Russell's acting skills, as well as being encouraging. And as you did so, I suddenly remembered, for months now I've been thinking, who is it Russell reminds me of? I'm showing my age here, but has anybody heard of a TV comedian called Jasper Carrott? Who, yep, years ago, he used to do wry commentaries on the news and on politicians. So he really was the thinking man's comedian. So, Russell, we need a new Jasper Carrott, I think, because he vanished from our screens, sadly, a few years ago now. Diane, evaluating Alan, you praised the way he managed without notes or without conspicuous notes, and you praised some turns of phrase. Was very good. Swear like an adult, for example, and his air of euphoria at times. So that again was an uplifting evaluation. It made me feel, yes, let's have more of this, more of the evaluee, more of the evaluator. Enke, evaluating Heather. Face-to-face, sorry, I'm trying to decode my notes here, but you reminded us that it's relatively rare now to have an intimate connection with a speaker, and yet you do in a more television context. You can have a one-to-one interview with somebody where their face is filling up the whole screen, and in a way which normally more in family matters now we'd encounter, you have two people talking to one another very closely. And I think you picked up Heather's strong point here. Yeah, Heather, you really are good. Talking to camera is your natural thing, I would say. A comment I would make is occasionally being a little bit too abstract. So Enke, you mentioned references we can relate to, for instance, and to come to more specific things would help us to grasp what you're recommending. Russell, you had a very strong praise of a strong person, Susan, talking about mentoring and the beast, and frisson of my days working for big multinationals in offices. Yes, I too still bear the scars. I agreed that it was a very good, strong speech. I felt perhaps you might have gone for a little bit more warmth, because if somebody is too terrifying in their delivery, then it perhaps isn't the absolute optimum. But all in all, oh, and I have noted your voice volume, Susan, for me was ranging a bit too much. I hope that's, yes, I hope I haven't got my notes switched. But all in all, that we have adapted to this new format, I think, like ducks to water. It's really going very well. The only recommendations I can think of now would be, very technical ones. Let's do a new version of Zoom that is exactly right for Toastmasters, for displaying all the right things at the right relative size at once. But that's a bit of a daydream. Congratulations to everybody. Everyone is handling this very well.
Hey.